baker, the big baker man. Welcome to BUI. So today I am gonna be making some oatmeal cream pies. You know me. I love a good cream pie. Anywho, if you watched our past couple episodes, you know that every single drink that I've had so far has been an absolute calorie bomb. And so I'm gonna do something about that. Today, I'm just making something simple. I've got some LaCroix, and then I've just got some Rain Per Lime gin. So I'm kind of fancy, kind of classy. If you haven't noticed, I'm a very classy guy. I'm gonna start off with the gin. I don't know if I've disclosed it on this show, but gin is like my favorite liquor. Whenever I'm out in nature, I try to just chew on a pine branch any chance I get. We'll do a little shabam. Because I'm extra classy, I gotta make a garnish. And now a nice little lime wedge. I guess that's a wheel, not a wedge. I know my shapes. I passed kindergarten. There's my lowest calorie, simplest drink of the season. There's also no ice in it, so I'm drinking warm LaCroix and gin. This is a 7. This is a good 7 drink. I would drink this all day. I'm not an alcoholic. Anyway, let's get baking, shall we? My butter is, again, not the right temperature. What'd you expect? Oh, I also need to take a shot. This is so scattered. I decided to do this like an hour ago. Cheers. I love gin. Now, when I say I like gin, I think that it's a good sipping beverage. Taking shots, that was a little rough. I was thinking I was gonna make an aesthetic video, but that's not why you're here. Yeah, we know why you're here. I actually have no idea why you're here. Do you think I'm funny? Please don't boost my ego. I don't need that. If I had any self-esteem, I would be unstoppable. It's about 3/4. Probably. Shabam. 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 Half a cup of room temperature butter. I don't have that. I'm gonna microwave my butter again. Every time I've done this so far, it turns out okay. Keep hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. It's just like my dad always said, the world's gonna end in fire and you need to be prepared for that, because when the government comes for you, if your bunker's not ready and you don't have 6 months worth of supplies, you're not prepared and you're probably gonna die. And I think that applies to butter. That is some room temp butter, if I do say so myself. And it's stuck in my mug. 1 egg. This was also supposed to be room temp. It is pretty cold still. Saka ate the first egg that I set out, so it's kind of his fault. Rule number 1 of vanilla. Just fucking go for it. That was probably too much, but any more liquid? Molasses. Is molasses a liquid? I bought my first jar of molasses ever, and I'm assuming it's a liquid. I mean, there was that one flood where everyone drowned in molasses. Oh my god. I should have probably opened this before touching butter. Oh, I did it. Look at, oh my god. Oh my god, that fucking stinks. I don't know how to measure this. Since this is so thick, I might be able to just spoon it out. What is molasses? It smells like shit. It smells terrible. Oh man, my computer's already about to die. So hopefully, I remember all the ingredients. It fucking stinks, guys. Can you believe people used to like eat this very regularly? That's some like Mary Poppins shit. I don't know when molasses was popular. I just about broke my cabinet. That would have been not super funny, kind of funny. I would have laughed, but then I would have actually been pretty sad. You guys ever get sad? Again, not making light about depression. I just like to joke through it, you know? I think it sucks, but humor is my coping mechanism. Now, since this is a thicker dough, it's cookie dough, I'm gonna be doing dry to wet, because that sounds right. This is the equivalent of sifting. You can look it up on the internet, it's real. I would never lie to you guys. Except about my tax fraud. Guys, if this tastes like what it smells, I'm gonna be pissed. I've never ate an oatmeal cream pie that tastes like horse shit. Watch it turn out that it was me that smelled bad the whole time. This is the dough we've got so far. Focus, camera, focus. Now it's time to fold in some oats. Sokka's really excited for that part. What is happening? Why is this impossible to open? It's like childproof or something. I'm an adult. Now let's fold this shit. Am I right? You guys ever watched that episode of Schitt's Creek? You just fold it in. It still smells like shit, guys. Maybe I just don't like molasses. If you guys are big molasses fans, fucking how? But also, no judgment. Oatmeal cream pie. Wow. Sokka, what are you doing? Oh, also Allie. Hi, Allie. Did it. If you guys could see my pan cupboard, you would be slightly disappointed in me. Almost as disappointed as my parents. This is when you know you've made it as a baker, is when you got silicone mats. Pretty fucking cool. I don't know how big these get. I'm guessing pretty big. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying my best. All right, next up. We got the cream. I also need another block of room temperature butter. This one's not quite room temperature yet, so I'm also gonna microwave this one. And then I need some shortening. Do you guys like Crisco? This is my go-to snack. That's some room temperature butter. I need 2 tablespoons. Oh, that did not go as planned. Did you guys know that? Shortening's so soft, I expected this to be like cut in butter, but it's closer to cut in fucking wax. I don't fucking know. Now to put this back in my cabinet and not see it again for the next 30 years. Is this supposed to be refrigerated? Next up, my computer's dead. This is my time to shine. About that much heavy cream. That was probably too much vanilla. That was a lot. But you know how it goes here. You never measure vanilla. Let's whip some powdered sugar into this. I might add like a little bit of milk to this. This is kind of a little bit too thick for my liking. I'm gonna taste test this, but I think I know what I need to do. I'm gonna do a little bit of milk and a little bit more cream. How do I forget this every single time that I make frosting? That if you add too much cream, that it separates? Guys, be disappointed in me. Be disappointed. Look. Junky. Alright, well, I'm gonna toss this and start over. This is my last attempt. I used all of my butter. So, if this goes poorly, there's no going back. I'm gonna add some sugar now. That much. Oh, that was a fuck ton. I did not mean to do that. Guys, now for the heavy cream. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna measure this. My cookies actually smell kind of done, so I might take a look at those. Oh yeah, those babies are done. Maybe mildly overdone. Those are looking a little bit too golden on the edges. Only maybe mildly overdone. So for me, that's a win. I need more counter space. Donate to my Patreon so I can have more counter space. Maybe I'll end up with granite countertops. We're trying to figure out what would be cool to do for our donors. But it's probably going to involve baked goods, which might be a little bit terrifying. Let's give it a good old taste test. I'm going to throw in a pinch of salt. This might be a mistake. I'm going to do a pinch of salt and then a little bit more vanilla. It's time for dishes with this guy. Actually, backtrack. going to put this into a piping bag first. That way I can do the dishes for this and not have to do it twice. Oh wow, I did it. I'm so good at things. And I put it on my dominant hand like an idiot. And then, have you guys ever seen this trick? And that's how you get it in to the end. All right, now you guys know what time it is. Intro music. Dishes with this guy. Alright, so what do you guys want to talk about this week? I got a fun story for you guys. I'm going to talk more about my brother. He loves it when I talk about him. Last time I talked about him, I was talking about bashing his brains in with a mixing bowl. And he thought that was kind of funny. He was more alarmed than anything, but it's fine. How do you guys feel about sleepwalking? I think it's stupid, and if you sleepwalk, you need to do something about it. It's kind of alarming. When I was a little kid, I used to sleepwalk a ton. I don't know if I still do. I live alone again. It's not sad, guys. I choose to live alone. I like the solitude. It actually saves me a little bit of like social anxiety. So maybe I'm hiding from my fears, which is also not great. Anywho, when I was a little kid, my sleepwalking... Do you guys like my storytelling and how all over the place it always is and how it never gets better? Throughout the night, I'll go to the bathroom and I'll have to go pee. When I was a kid, my body got so accustomed to that I would sleepwalk. I would walk into the living room. My parents would see me walk into the living room and be like, Simon, go to the bathroom, like a dog, you know. And then I'd just walk to the bathroom, do my business, and then go back to bed. Which, honestly, that's the most practical sleepwalking story that I've personally ever heard. I'm literally keeping myself asleep, doing what I need to do, and then just climbing back in bed. If you're more productive in your sleep, tell me about it. My brother, on the other hand, he used to be terrifying. His was like the shit of nightmares, and I hate him for it. Him and I shared a room for most of our lives, and we had bunk beds because we were fucking cool. I want to say I was probably in like 7th grade and he was 8th grade, so we're both pretty old. For all you people over 30, and I just called 7th and 8th graders old. How'd that make you feel? Do you feel old? Do you hear this, Brooke? This is about you. You're old. Charlie, you're old. Stefan, you're old. When are you guys going to be put in a home? He was sleepwalking pretty regularly. There was one night that I was still up late and I was just playing games on my phone, and by late it was probably 8 p.m. I could tell that my brother had already fallen asleep because he stopped rolling around. Oh, he was top bunk, I was bottom bunk. And so I kind of already knew that he had fallen asleep. I'm just sitting there on my phone, doing my thing, and then I just hear him like wiggle a couple times. And I'm like, okay, Paul's awake, that means be quiet, he might tell on me to mom. I just sit there for a second after he rolled a couple times and I was like, okay, he was just shifting. Everything's fine. And so I go back to my business. I'm just watching videos on my phone, and like 10 seconds later, he just grabs the corner of the mattress and pulls it up. He's just staring straight down at me. And he's just like, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I jump out of bed. My brother's just sitting there on his mattress, and I climb out of bed, and I'm standing there. I'm like, hey Paul, you're sleepwalking. Wake up. You're sleeping. You're being a fucking creep. Wake your ass up before I hit you. And like while I'm talking to him, he's just up on his mattress on his hands and knees, and he's just spinning in circles. He's just on his hands and knees, just spinning around like he's lost. After a few seconds, he woke up and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, I'm just trying to watch YouTube videos on my phone. I'm trying to watch Minecraft clips, and you're ruining this for me." Do you guys have any funny sleepwalking stories? Or do you have any stories of other people sleepwalking and you're like, "I fucking hate this person, I'm never staying at their house again"? Because that's how I would have been had I not been forced to live with this other human being. I would have bounced out so fast. It was not enjoyable for me. I want to talk about Patreon a little bit. So if you guys haven't seen, some of our older videos have been taken down. They are now on our Patreon. If you're one of our donors, you can check those out. They're worse because they have Charlie in them. But, you know, some people think Charlie's cute. We want to know what you guys want as donors. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're not quite mainstream. We're keeping it low key. But that's gonna change because you guys. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. You're probably the 5 people watching this. It's like my mom and my dad. But if you guys have any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. I was also thinking it'd be fun to do a Patreon episode once a month where I make bulk cookies and that's sent out to you guys. Wouldn't that be fun? Usually my stuff's not half bad. It's not half bad. It's quarter bad. 1/3 bad. 3/8 bad. I'm gonna knock this down a few pegs. Just because it doesn't have ice in it. It was a 7. I'm knocking it down to probably a 5.5. Don't drink warm liquor. It's just... I'm sure that's not a disclaimer that anyone needed. I'm sure everyone was like, "Yeah, no shit. Alright, time to make some cream pies." These are definitely a little bit overcooked. I intend to bring these to a party, so hopefully they're not terrible. I'm gonna taste one, and if they're terrible, I won't bring them. But hey, they get me, and that's the real treasure, am I right? This is gonna be a shit show. That one got a lot of cream. Whoops. Alright, so I ran out of cream. That means I gotta steal some from the other ones. There's definitely some that have more than others. And that's just the way the world works, you know? This is like a puzzle. Well, those don't match up. So I'm gonna swap those two. Ooh, that also doesn't match up. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh my God, isn't that beautiful? But I'm actually Little Debbie. Let's try this. Cookies are severely overdone. It doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste like burnt cookies. But if you try to take a bite, all the cream pops out. Whoops. It's a mild bit salty too. So I'm gonna give this a 6.8. Thank you for watching this episode of BUI. I hope you enjoyed my cream pies. I hope you liked watching me cream pie on the internet. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for donating if you donate. Tell your friends about this. We're gonna make it big someday so that you can pay me to drink and eat baked goods. That's the dream. Thanks, guys. Thanks, ladies and thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody.